Do you have a little sacred space for yourself in your home? It can make such a huge difference to give yourself a peaceful, physical little space in your home. And it can be just a little corner of your bedroom. It could be one little shelf in your kitchen. It could be anything, a little table sitting in the corner of one of your rooms. So I just wanted to share with you how I make like a little altar, sacred space. It doesn't have to look super crazy or woo. It can look super decorative and work with the decor of your home. The key is not to make it look like anything in particular, but rather the key is to put things on your little sacred space altar that mean something to you personally. So I've got a little bit of an example here, and I'll talk you through it. First of all, I want you to know there is no wrong way to make a little altar, a little sacred space for yourself. There's no wrong way to do it. The benefit of doing this is that it anchors your spiritual intention in your home. It helps you feel like you don't have to wait to go to church or to go outside or to go somewhere holy in order to relate with the divine. It helps you feel like your home is a sacred space all through it, but it gives us an anchor or a center for that intention. So anyone can create a little altar or sacred space area. It can be such a great anchor just to come back to and sit next to it, just to gaze at it. It can be an energetic anchor as well that helps keep your house feeling sacred and holy and clear. So here, let me give you a couple of ideas of things that I like to have in my little sacred space or a little altar. One thing is a candle. See this lovely little candle? And it can be any candle. It could just be a tea light. Doesn't have to be fancy. But I also really like smudge. So I have some dried sage from the garden here. You can use lavender. You can use rosemary from your neighbor's bush. You know what I'm talking about. And you dry it, and then you can burn it a little bit, and then it just has a little ember and makes a little bit of smoke that smells nice, and the intention that you put with it clears the space. So I'm imagining my prayers going up with the smoke. I'm imagining just the smoke embodying my intention to clear the space. That's it. Simple. Now, it's nice to choose herbs that grow around you. It's not as nice to go purchase smudge, mostly because there are areas where sage and sweetwood, what's it called? Some of these things are being over-harvested. And so it's an even more personal experience and relationship if you use an herb that's growing in your neighborhood or in your yard. So don't be afraid to try different things. Okay? A lot of people buy fancy crystals to put on their altar, and crystals are great. But guess what's also great? I'm always looking for little rocks in the shape of a heart. It's a heart rock, and you can find this anywhere in your neighborhood. This is not something you have to pay for. Just keep your eyes open for little rocks in the shape of a heart. Whenever I see one, it reminds me that I'm loved by my Creator and loved by the earth. Isn't that nice? So this is nice to have on my little sacred space because it has personal meaning for me. Now, yeah, I have other things like my really cool Hawthorne. Why do I always forget the names of things when I have the video on? You'll know. You can put it in the comments. Ching-a-ching-a-ching. This is from Egypt, and I love her. But things that you've gathered on your travels that remind you of sacredness and your own intentions. I've got a nice bowl here on this altar space. I have a found feather. Isn't that beautiful? So again, this is free. The earth gives us beautiful things. I even have some loose sage here that's fun to burn in a little bowl. Finally, I wanted to point out that lots of us enjoy oracle cards as a way to ask Spirit to speak with us outside of our thinky brains. So I can pull, I often will have a deck of oracle cards or tarot cards sitting on my little altar so that I can ask the Creator, I can ask Spirit to give me a message through them. And right now we get the 3 of acorns, foresight and exploration. So there you go. You can explore what you want to do with your own sacred corner. You can have foresight in thinking forward about how you can make it fun for yourself. And you can do it in your own way. You can make it really simple. In my little RV, for example, I have a little 23-foot long RV. It's very small. But I have one tiny little shelf. And on that tiny little shelf, I have a little bronze Ganesha statue who reminds me that nothing's impossible. I actually have a little Xena Princess Warrior action figure that lives there that's reminding me of all the adventures that my kids and I have been on inside of my little RV. And I have a few little stones that I found in various places while we were traveling in the RV. And I've got a little stick of sage that I brought from home that I used to smudge the RV. So that's enough. It doesn't have to be some big elaborate ordeal to create an anchor of your sacred intention. And during this month of December, when we're kind of pushed in a lot of directions, there's a lot of family rituals, religious rituals, other ways to celebrate the season that maybe are more outward facing and might not seem even as personal to you as some of this stuff. Claim this season for your own. This sacred season of the dark month, this sacred season of the darkness before the light re-enters the world. It's yours. It's yours. And you deserve to have your own little sacred corner. So share with me. I'm curious to hear about how you utilize your own little sacred corner in your home and how it can give you a little peace in the storm to even just look at it or to sit by it or to light the candle there and say a prayer.